friends, it's Aldie, and today I want to share with you the 7 most common regrets in life. Because I believe that the majority of people in this world never live up to their full potential. Now, I never said that they cannot live up to their full potential. I said that they do not live up to their full potential because they don't understand the laws of success. They haven't been watching my videos, even though they should, and they don't realize how powerful they actually are. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 regrets because I know that if you understand this and you realize exactly what changes you need to make, then you, my friend, will be able to understand who you are and reach your highest potential. The first regret that most people have is worrying too much. So many people worry about things that never actually happen to them. And worrying is the greatest waste of imagination. In fact, when you worry, you're actually telling the universe that you're fearful that the expected outcome that you want will never happen. And that's the opposite of faith. In fact, that is fear. If you believe in fear, then you believe in worry. If you believe in worry, then you're attracting more fear into your life. It's a destructive cycle that never stops. And you must understand exactly what you're worried about in order to quit worrying about it. Now, some people might be saying, oh, Daniel, well, I know what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the bills. I'm worried about my kids. I'm worried about the job. Well, if you're worried about those things, you have to understand what they mean. If you're worried about money, that means you need to make more. If you're worried about your kids, that means that you need to communicate more effectively with them. If you're worried about the job, that means that you need to understand what the job is actually trying to do and figure out what kind of role you can play in order to keep that job or work better within that job. Look, I know life can be very complicated. You might have so many different things that you're worried about. But what I want you to do is to make a list of all your worries. Make a list of all your fears, all your concerns, all your doubts, and ask yourself, would the universe actually leave me stranded? Would God actually forsake me? You'll realize that you have nothing to worry about. Once you realize the internal power and peace that you have within yourself, you'll stop worrying about the things you can't change and start focusing on the things that you can change. And all your worries will evaporate. The second most common regret that most people have is caring too much about what other people think. In fact, half of people's lives are concerned about what other people think. Now, I see people all the time, they're like, oh, I don't worry about what people think. They can do what they do. They can be who they are. But my friends, every single person cares about what other people think. Look, I don't care if you're a hermit, you still care about what other people think about you. No one in this world is ever going to stop caring about their reputation because they know that their reputation will either help them or hurt them. They know that their reputation is their best advertisement. And they're going to do whatever it takes to protect that reputation. Because we all know that it takes years to build up a solid reputation, and it only takes a few minutes to break it down. We've seen so many celebrities who've been worshipped, they've been idolized, they've been looked up to for decades and decades. And after one story that breaks the internet, all of a sudden, their reputation is gone, even if they didn't commit the crime. Could you imagine that? So all I'm saying is this. While we all want to preserve our reputation, we can't really control how people think about us. We can control what we do, but if we feel like we're walking on eggshells, then we won't get anything done. For instance, you might say, I want to start a business, I want to live my dream, I want to write my book. But if you're afraid of the critics and the naysayers, you might never write that book because you're so concerned about what other people think about you. You're so worried about what they're going to say and how they're going to feel and how you might interact with your loved ones. But you have to let go of those negative thoughts. You have to realize that yes, there may be consequences, but if you're doing the right thing, it really doesn't matter what other people think. All that matters is what God thinks. All what matters is the end result that you want to achieve. And I guarantee you, if you stop worrying about what people think, you'll save years and years, probably even decades of your life. The third common regret that most people have is never taking a risk. I've had so many people that write me in their later years, they're in their 50s and 60s and 70s, and they say, Daniel, I regret so many things because I should have married that woman. I should have invested in that business. I should have bought that house. But so many people bury themselves in shoulda, wouldas, and couldas. They talk about all the things that they would have done and what they could have done and who they should have been. But the fact is that you have the moment right now. Now is the time to act on your dreams. Now is the time to take that risk, because risk is the safest route you can go. Look, when it comes to taking a risk, you have to write out the pros and the cons, and you have to ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen? Usually it comes down to money. And if money is the only thing you're worried about, then my friend, you probably might need to take that risk. Now, I'm not going to give you any kind of advice on what risk you're facing right now, but what I will tell you is that in your heart, you know exactly what to do. You know exactly how to think. You know exactly where to go. You know exactly who you trust. So you need to consult yourself and your higher power, whatever you believe it may be, and ask, you know what? I really do know. And I really need to do exactly what is right. Because like I always say, if you have the right intentions, you'll always be led in the right directions. So don't be afraid to take a risk. Remember the old saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You gotta take a risk. You gotta put up your shots. You gotta do something that will help you get ignited. Something that will get you started. My friends, I'm telling you, people who don't take a risk end up regretting it in the end. So calculate the risk. Understand what it means. Know the consequences. But in the end, take the risk and live your dreams. The fourth common regret that most people have is not traveling enough. There's so many people that are so adventurous in their soul, but they never travel to the places that they need to go. They never travel even in their own neighborhood. They never try a different route. They never walk a different street. They never try something new because they're so afraid. My friends, you need to do something different. I know so many people, they just book cruise after cruise after cruise. Now I'm going to tell you, the Caribbean is great, but if that's all you've ever seen, then that's very limited. You have to do something new. You have to do something creative. Go and see Europe. Go and see Australia. Go and see Africa. Go and see Asia. Or actually, come over here in North America. What I'm saying is this. Do something that you've never done before. Do something that you've always been afraid to do. Think about that one place that you really want to travel to and leave it in a comment section below. Once you figure out what this place is, after this video, I want you to subscribe and check out my other videos, but I want you to also make sure to do research on that place. I want you to look at the climate. I want you to look at the people. I want you to look at the government, the politics, and everything about that country. Everything about that city, everything about that place. Look, it doesn't even have to be far. It could be close. In fact, I live in Northern Virginia, and I can tell you that there's so many people in my neighborhood that have never even seen half the places that I've been over here. And that's something that's so easy to do. There's so many places right where you live that you can go and see. So be adventurous and decide to travel more. The fifth most common regret that most people have is holding back their feelings, holding back their emotions. There's so many people that are pent up with energy because they haven't expressed their true desires. They haven't expressed their true emotions to their loved ones. They haven't shown their true feelings to the people around them. And if they never show their emotions, then eventually they hold it in. Eventually it hurts them in the end. Eventually it disturbs how they think, how they feel, how they operate in life. So what I'm saying, my friends, is to make sure that you don't hold in all your feelings. There's so many times that I've heard people say, oh, I wish I could have told my dad how I really felt. Or I wish I could have just forgiven my mother or let go of that grudge. There's so many times where we want to tell people how we really feel, but we're afraid of how they react. In other words, there's so many times where we're so afraid of how people will react that we hold back what we're trying to say. We think to ourselves, well, I could really tell them off, but I feel like I might not say it right, or I feel like I might argue with them, or I feel like that might cause some strife. But my friends, I'm telling you this right now. If you hold in your emotions for too long, eventually, it's either going to hurt you or the person in the long run. Usually it ends in a negative way. Someone might hold it in so much that they might explode and curse someone out. Or maybe they might feel like they've been betrayed and never talk to that person again. My friends, there's so many ways that you can rectify these things before that anger accrues. You have to figure out exactly what you need to do and how you can go about fixing all your relationships. So never hold in any anger, never hold in any hate, never hold in any negative feelings or even positive feelings that you have about other people. Make sure to share it with the right people at the right time in the right places. The sixth most common regret that most people have is not enjoying themselves, not enjoying their families, and not enjoying their friends. My friends, there's so many people that just work, and they never actually enjoy themselves along the way. Now, they might enjoy their work, they might enjoy their customers, they might enjoy their business, they might enjoy what they do, but they don't enjoy themselves. They don't enjoy the people around them. They don't enjoy the blessings that they could have had in all those youthful years. My friends, what I'm telling you is this: don't go to the grave without having the respected time that you need with your family and friends. Don't go to the grave knowing that you could have spent more time with your loved ones. My friends, the time is now. Take a couple of days off, a couple hours, and spend some time with your kids. Spend some time with your family. Spend some time with your friends and your neighbors and all the people that you truly love. I'm telling you, it's worth it in the end. The seventh and most powerful regret that most people have is not living in their purpose. My friends, there's so many people that die and they never follow their passion. They work at a job that has nothing to do with their passion at all. They might be working at a hospital, but they're in love with cooking. And they've never even touched their kitchen in the way that they wanted to, but yet they're dead. They never used the 50, 60, 70 years that they had on this earth to experiment with their kitchen. Could you imagine how sad and devastating that is for the people that they could have served? My friends, it is tragic when someone has a gift but never decides to use it. It's a waste. You never want to be that kind of person. You have a passion inside of you that you need to release. No employer could take that away from you. My friend, you have a gift inside of you. You have a passion. You have a purpose. Nobody can keep you away from living on your highest purpose. So many people go throughout their lives and they conform to the patterns of the world. They become average. They never do the things that they're supposed to do because they're so busy copying everyone else. My friends, if you're trying to do what everyone else wants you to do, then who's going to be you? It's time to stop conforming and start performing to who you really want to be. It's time to start living your dream. It's time to set yourself free. My friend, you have so much potential. You have so much power within you. You now need to unlock your mind. You need to unlock your heart. You need to unlock your soul and express yourself on the highest level. Because now is the time to act on your dream. Now is the time to become the person that you know you were called to be. My friends, this is Daniel Aldie, and if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button. Comment in the section below yes if you're ready to take more action in your life. Also, check me out on Instagram and all my other social medias so that we can connect on a personal level. I look forward to helping you reach your dreams and helping you become the person that you know you're supposed to be. See you on the next video.